in Italy as well, where it was the epicenter for many, many months. Football has been beginning, the Serie A has been ongoing, and signings have been happening. One of the big ones is the story of Alvaro Morata, former Chelsea, former Atleti, former Real Madrid, who is joining at Juventus on loan. And that's how we welcome you to the sport. I'm Gary Al Smith. I'll be joined shortly by my colleague, Oriku Ampofo, to do some analysis on some of these interesting signings now as well. Oriku, good afternoon and thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, Gary. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing well, thank you. So, football is back, and we are looking at the transfers of some of the key names. Let's begin with the story of Luis Suarez. Apparently, he cheated in an exam. Apparently, he had APO. Is that true?
Well, I'm in no position to confirm whether it's true or not, but I can give you the background story. It's all alleged at the point, as investigations are still ongoing, but there's suspicion that he cheated, and here's the case. Now, a lot of people are wondering why Suarez has to take, an Italian test because he's moving, and that's because he needs to, be considered as an EU player because Juventus have already fulfilled their EU non-quota players. So that means that they cannot bring in any non-EU players again because there's a cap on that for teams across Europe. So that means that Suarez has to go into Italy as, an Italian. And he's trying to get an Italian passport through his wife, who's also Italian. And to be able to complete that process, you need to take an exam. Now, based on interactions that he had with the officials, it looked like he had elementary knowledge. And in the quiz, which was a little bit of a high-level quiz, Suarez comes out and gets a 10 over 10. And so that initiated investigations. And it was quite surprising to the officials that, look, you're just speaking Italian in a very basic way, and this test, you get 10 over 10 that, people who have been in
so they are suspecting that some APO must have gone in somewhere, right?
Yeah. He failed the trick. When you get that point, you get some two wrong or some three wrong.
Okay.
But Suarez wanted to get everything correct and all.
So why is he going now?
I think. Can you hear me?
Yes. Why is he going now? Now that is he still going to Juventus?
No, he's not going to go to Juventus again. That's probably because they completed the signing of Morata on loan yesterday evening. And for Suarez, this afternoon, he was seen in a car crying after he was leaving the training center of FC Barcelona. And reports are all back confirming that the last part of the deal is for Atletico Madrid to announce their new signing in Suarez after both parties have agreed to terminate his contract. Now, it just means that Atletico Madrid won't pay any fee upfront, but they will just keep on paying FC Barcelona a small fee of about 2 to 5 million euros anytime that they qualify for the Champions League. So Barcelona would be hoping that Atletico continue qualifying for the Champions League many seasons to come.
Nice one. What else is there in terms of the marquee signings across Europe? You're talking about Morata, about Suarez. Anything else?
Yeah, there is Suarez's teammate and his former teammate, and that's Nelson Semedo, who joined Wolverhampton Wanderers earlier this morning, and the announcement was made official. He released a statement yesterday thanking Barcelona, for making his dream come true, staying with the club for 3 years. But it's an interesting one because he becomes the 9th Portuguese player for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Nuno Espirito Santo himself is Portuguese, and you wonder whether he's just trying to get a starting 11 that is made out of Portugal players. He's just a couple of players away from achieving that. But I think it's a fantastic signing. They lost Matt Doherty to Tottenham Hotspur earlier in the transfer window. They replaced him with a player who I think would settle in well, speaks Portuguese. And, he's going to settle in the environment pretty quickly. And he lost to attack, and that was expected of a right wing back in this Wolves system. So it looks like a good deal without the benefit of hindsight. We'll see how he settles in the Premier League time to come.
Yeah. Also, Arturo Vidal is making news. He's going for a very small fee as well from Barcelona, isn't he?
Yeah, he is going for essentially almost nothing upfront, and the variables could possibly add up to 1 million euros. And you get the feeling that all these, major clearouts from Barcelona are not really to get in revenue. It's more or less a long-term improvement on that wage bill. They have the heaviest wage bill, not just in football, but in sport. And they're trying to cut down on that. So far, they've done about 10% with their sales so far. And they will be hoping to, do more of that. For Vidal, he fits in the profile of an Antonio Conte midfielder, very combative, and he loves to put in a tackle. He, goes up and comes down, and he's willing to put in a fight. And that's what Conte basically needs. He doesn't care about your age, as a lot of people have been talking about. He's short-term, needs to get a trophy, and will be looking to get that Serie A title this season.
Excellent. So, Riku, we'll be touching base as we get ready for the Joy Transfer Deadline Day show on October 5th. We'll be having more of these updates here. Riku, thank you for your time. So there are more transfers involving Ghanaian players as football returned. Don't forget that President Akufo-Addo essentially lifted the last of the barriers to ensure that the Ghana Premier League and the Division 1 and Women's League will kick off on the 30th of October. Stay with us. We have more in terms of the signings on here and myjoyonline.com, plus, of course, on our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook pages. I'm Gary Al Smith, and that's the sport for now. Thank you for your time.